Hey there everybody, hope your day is going well. Jacarried Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. A goddamn blast for me. I've been trying to get things to work for the past hour, and doing the same exact thing, yet somehow getting exactly different results. Thank you, computer. Piece of crap. Anyway, forget the scuff issues that I constantly have. Well, looking at it, some of a shorter theory, I guess 6 minutes long, but the Pokemon theory, Gengar is Clefairy, as in they are exactly the same? I don't think so. Unless we're just going with, like, the simplistic thing, oh, they're designed the same. God damn it. At least, hopefully with ProtoMario, there will be more than just, they have a similar outline. Like, if you draw an outline of both of them, hey, which one's which? Do you really know? Oh, please tell me, like, in 6 minutes, there's more than just that. So, hell, let's get in this, and, yeah, I'll see you throughout.
Hello and welcome back, YouTubers, to another episode of Pokemon Theories. I'm your host, ProtoMario, and this is the show where we discuss theories ranging from Red being a ghost to why the heck Jinx looks the way she does. This Pokemon theory was asked by MVIL9. Hello and welcome back, YouTubers, to another episode of Pokemon Theories. Today's theory is Gengar and Clefairy are one and the same. So, this theory falls under many other theories out there for creepypastas and things like that. But, let's take a look at the facts. First, I'm going to talk about both of the Pokemons. So, let's get some background information.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I mean, yeah, sure, they can have somewhat similar designs, but is it, like different animals in the world, just because they have similar designs, does that mean they are the same thing? No, not always. Like, dogs and wolves are somewhat related, but they're more like cousins. They're not directly related. So yeah, let's take a look at each Pokemon, Gengar and Clefairy, and let's take a look there, and obviously they're not the same. But, I mean, who knows, like, where this theory will lead? I mean, to me, obviously, they're not the same. You have two very different Pokemon, but who knows, the theory might say something a little different.
Gengar is a ghost poison-type Pokemon of the Shadow species, and he is a small imp type with the ability to levitate, of course. And Clefairy is a normal fairy type with the ability Cute Charm and Magic Guard. It looks very similar to Gengar.
Yeah, and that's it. They just look similar. I mean, if you put, like, a regular Pokeball and then an Ultra Ball next to each other, are they the same exact thing? No, they are different. I mean, one has a higher catch rate, and they both have the same functions. But then again, like, Gengar, Clefairy, completely different. One's Ghost type, one's a normal type. And you were talking about, like, some, like, abilities that definitely beyond first gen. I don't know about second gen. I haven't reached the point where the Ghastly I caught is able to evolve, but yeah. Yeah, anyway. The point is, they have similar features in certain ways, but that does not mean they are the same. Right? At least, that's what I'm going with. And I might have to repeat that a few times.
Gengar cannot be found wild in the original games. Red, blue, yellow. And neither can Clefairy. So both Pokemon are not indigenous to the game and require different evolutionary chains to evolve. To acquire a Gengar, you need a Ghastly or a Haunter first. Ghastly must become a Haunter, and then it must be traded to evolve into a Gengar. That trade must make that Haunter who trusted you as a ghost Pokemon distrust you and feel so alone and dead inside that it evolves into a much more sinister Pokemon known as Gengar.
Wait, hold on. What? So, the Haunter that gets traded becomes distrustful and then evolves into something more powerful? That might be a theory to get into at some point in the future. That's interesting. And honestly, I was about to interrupt you and say, yeah, they evolve like this, but then now you're going into it, and I'm guessing you're about to go into how Clefairy evolves into Clefable here in a moment.
But then Clefable's evolution is much more easier. You just touch it with a moonstone and it becomes much stronger. Clefairy and Clefable are known to be from a different planet. This has been proven several times. That's why they hang out at Mount Moon. So that may have a contributing factor to why Clefable looks like Gengar. Not a lot of other Pokemon have a correlating separate Pokemon that looks just like them.
Wait. Hold on. So, because Clefairy came from another planet, that's how we have Gengar? What? You're gonna have to explain that one to me, because I'm just completely lost.
Clefairy and Clefable being from a different planet could cause this occurrence. So, let's get into the theory. Basically, Gengar looks very similar to Clefable, the original Gengar, especially, because the original Gengar has spikes coming out of his sides, unlike the newer versions. So keep that in mind, because that is an important thing that is lost in the translations as the games proceed. So Gengar has 2 pointy ears, Clefable has 2 pointy ears with markings on them. Gengar has spiky hair, and Clefable has curly hair. Gengar had the spikes, so did Clefable. Gengar has 3 fingers, Clefable has 3 fingers. Gengar has 3 toes, Clefable has 3 toes. And Gengar's tail is straight, while Clefable's tail is twirled around in a circle.
So far, all you're really pointing out is like the differences. You have 2 pictures side by side that are similar, and it's like one of those children's games where it's just hey, spot the 5 differences between these things, and circle here, circle here, so on and so forth. What you're pointing out is certain similarities and differences, oh well, instead of curly hair, the spiked hair. Instead of a straight out tail, it's a curled tail. That does not explain that the existence of Gengar is solely because of the existence of Clefable, and it does not explain how they are exactly the same. However, over halfway done with your video, what, how are these, how is Clefable and Gengar exactly the same? How? Please explain that.
Gengar's face has no nose and 2 large eyes with a giant Cheshire smile. Clefable's 2 eyes are very small and beady with a very small mouth. It is concluded that Gengar is Clefable's shadow. When a Clefable comes into existence, there is a shadow force that also comes into existence. Now, while I'm not saying that the game mechanics allow for this, but it can be seen in the anime. Take it for a grain of salt. Again, the anime is not the definitive source, but you can find wild Gengars in the anime, as seen in the Pokemon Tower. But, again, take it with a grain of salt. When a Clefable is created, it casts a shadow, and the shadow is that of Gengar. Because Clefairy and Clefable originate from a different planet, their species creates an exact opposite upon their evolutionary.
So is this more along the lines of for light there is dark, and for dark there is light? When a Clefairy evolves into a Clefable, a Gengar is created somehow. What? Even in the anime, I don't remember every Clefable episode. Because I know there's the one like the one at Mount Moon, like very very early in the Indigo League, where like Clefairy, Clefable, hell, that's even where Brock originally catches his Zubat, and like all like when there's like a giganto Moonstone that Team Rocket tries to steal, and then that Moonstone explodes into a bunch of tiny Moonstones, like, and it's like half of the Clefairy evolve into Clefable, but there was no, I mean, that was at the middle of the night, so maybe we just couldn't see the shadow. Again, is it just as simple as like, oh, for, you know, like when a new, like a source of matter, for all the matter there's also antimatter or something like that? Like, you know, like I said earlier, is like for light there is dark, and there needs to be a balance, or what? Like, what's going on? I'm confused. Still, is it just because like that? Like the shadow becomes separate, like a Peter Pan shadow just like separates and then starts causing mischief everywhere.
So when they evolve, Gengar is created out of the subsequent, event. That is my theory. Gengar is not Clefable. He is not. He is not a dead Clefable, because a Clefable doesn't need to die for a Gengar to be created, because Gengar is its shadow and not the reincarnation, reanimation, afterworld, specter, things of that nature. Otherwise it would be in the specter species or the ghost species or something similar to that. And yeah, so that's my theory, guys. If you have another theory about this subject, please put it in the comment section below. I would definitely love to hear your theory, guys. I'm ProtoMario, and I'm signing out. And remember, if I use your theory in one of my Pokemon theory videos, I will give you a shout out before the video. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.
Okay, well, that is the end of ProtoMario's video. I don't know, I felt like I got through this fairly faster than usual. Yeah, I suppose it's bound to happen. I don't know what theory if I do a theory next or not or whatever. Yeah, so I suppose the theory is the answer that Gengar and Clefairy are not the same creature, not even similar. It's that Gengar is created from Clefable's shadow once Clefable is created. That is still just a theory. I mean, I would kind of need more evidence than just like, they're kind of similar, they look the same. A lot of things look similar, okay? Like how different breeds of dogs can be similar, but they are different breeds. Like, a Dalmatian and a Chihuahua are obviously very, very different. I mean, Dalmatian is very, very large and lanky, whereas a Chihuahua is this tiny little thing that can fit into the palm, well, maybe the palm of both your hands. Sometimes they are bigger, sometimes they're smaller. Well, whatever. Yeah, honestly, I think that needs a little more, like, where's a little more evidence to it, sort of thing. And anyway, yeah, that's just my take on it, and yeah, I mean, it is kind of an interesting theory, but I mean, just because they look similar doesn't mean they are the same. Yeah, anyway, well, there's that. So yeah, I need to get this edited together and move on to the next set of couple Thoughtful Thursdays. Right. I put the box over there. Anyway, yeah, I will see you there when that happens, once I get all this stuff sorted and do all that. So yeah, I will catch you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And as always, have fun.